Hey, hello, how are you? Right, now, can one hear me okay? Hello, hello, hello to you. This is it, another late night live stream. We are here. Gosh, and as suddenly as I've scheduled it, there's already a good nearly 10 of you in here, but a good 6. Wow, gosh, I didn't think some of you would be interested in seeing this because I'd scheduled it far too hurriedly, but here I am. Here I am. Hello to Gertrude. Hello to you. I'm King Late Night. Oh, goodness. And Heidi. Marcia. Hello. Hello, hello, hello to Marcia. And howdy, howdy, Zeph. Heidi, howdy. And hello to Joy. Hello, hello, hello to Joy. Hello to Herman. Thank you. Thank you, Gertrude. Thank you for your friendliness towards Zeph, Marcia, and Heidi, and of course Joy. Oh, and Pamela's here. Hello to our model lady, Pamela. Hello to you. No, nothing discriminatory was meant saying model lady. Oh, impressive. Impressive. Impressive that, Pamela. Impressive. My friend Heather modelled at one point, and she's Canada like you, Pamela, and she modelled in her youth. She modelled in her youth. When seeing what she looked like, after seeing what she looked like, I was like, I would believe that. I would definitely believe that. Who's still really, though she may be almost nearing 70 years of age, Heather, my friend, she's still very pretty. I mean, still really quite a pretty lady for her age, I must say. Quite very nice face, well proportioned bodily wise, figure wise. Not she's not petite. I wouldn't say petite or anything, but sort of a nice, slim, well proportioned figure is what she's got. Around about 7 pounds short of my weight, something like that. So not petite, not small and petite, just small and well and with a well proportioned slim figure. I think she probably still could. I think out of many over 50s or over 60s, I think she could just ace modeling out of all of them, in my opinion, that is. But I don't mean anything discriminatory when saying so. But that's what I'd say. Hello to Christine. Hello. Oh no. Oh no. You got buffered, Zeph. Oh, not the buffering again. Shit. Shit. Buffering. Shit. Excuse the language. No, buffering's not funny. Oh, thank you, Joy. Thank you for your friendliness towards Christine. Thank you. The American. Oh, say, can you say? I've seen a lot of senior women that can model better than today's lot. I No, if you'd see what Heather looks like, Zeph, if you'd see what she looks like, you'd think she could still model, even at her age. It says to someone who probably doesn't look a day over 55. I would say it says to a lady who's going to be 70 next year, but doesn't look a day over 55. I would say that. And if you'd see what she looks like, you'd be, wow, she could really model. She could really model. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Gertrude. Thank you. She's lucky compared to my late grandfather Edmund. She's lucky compared to my late grandfather Edmund. Because when he was her age, or probably say 10 years younger than the age she is now, he looked years older. He looked actually many, many years old. He looked much older than what she looks like as of now. I mean, I'm talking much older. But like I think you probably know already, Zeph, my late grandfather Edmund wasn't in very good health when he was Heather's age. He wasn't in very good health, unfortunately. And he was very petite. Unlike Heather, who's not petite but small with a well proportioned, slim with a well-proportioned, slim figure. Um, he was very petite. He was petite, but he didn't eat very much, my Edmund, unfortunately. You know, because he had a bad heart, he had a quadruple bypass and a bad esophagus, which hurt when he swallowed. So eating and drinking, so eating and drinking, can it was hardly his pleasurable enjoyment, unfortunately. You have aged. Oh, that's what happened to my grandmother, Zev. This happened to my grandmother after my Edmund died. It aged her. It really aged her immensely. It did the same thing to her, I'm afraid. But all that is on me. Same with my grandmother. So sorry, Zev. Obviously, it happens in life, but apologies and much empathized sympathy. Oh, am I missing anybody? I think I've missed quite a few people. Hello to Kelly and Matt. Hello, Kelly and Matt. You take after your Danish great-great-grandparents who were very large people. It would be plus size model. Oh, God. Insaniquarium. Hello, Insaniquarium. Well, we're all different. We're all different, Pamela. Some of us are small. Some of us are very petite, like that of my wonderful late grandfather Edmund. He was very petite, who was presumably no bigger than around about 126 pounds, something like that. He was presumably he got a lot thinner. But before he died, he got a lot thinner than 126 pounds, actually. He did get a lot thinner than that before he died. But But, some people are petite, and my mother, I don't know how I would describe my mother. I would say fairly petite to small, obviously small to fairly petite. So you get people who are small and fairly petite, like, say, my mother's case, for example, and her sister, my Auntie Elaine. She's small to fairly petite as well. And another's quite a small thing, Uncle Robin. Now he's a small thing after losing 35 pounds of weight. Yeah, I mean, after losing, 35 pounds of weight, he's now a small thing because he's only 147 pounds. But the other four, they're big. They're big. They're quite big. Well, they're beyond stocky, but they're quite overweight, the other four. Oh no, there's buffering. Oh dear. Oh no, Pamela. You have broken toes from a large person stomping on your feet. Survived, but toes are not straight. Oh no. Oh, thank you, Christine. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Zev. She is petite. Well, my mother's probably no more than 140 pounds, something like that. No, 140 odd pounds. Probably no bigger than 140 pounds. Oh gosh, your great-great-grandmother was close to 300 pounds. Oh gosh, that's very large. Beyond large, that's huge. Wow. That is certainly beyond large. That's huge. No offense, but I'm not trying to say this to say anything discriminatory, but 300 pounds, I couldn't imagine being that weight. I really couldn't. I mean, if I was that weight, I'd try and go on a serious diet to try and lose several hundred pounds if I tried, if I was ever that big. But what was it that I was missing? What was it that I was missing? Or was I trying to share another thing? But yes, but like I was saying earlier on, some people are petite, some people are small to fairly petite, some people are just slim, a well-proportioned slim figure, like, say, for example, Heather, for example. And some are just fairly slim, like the case of myself, small and fairly slim. Uh, some are big. I mean, David was in the big territory. A few years ago, he was in big territory, but he's not now because he's either my weight or 6 pounds lighter at times Well, he has a varied weight of 10 stone 8 to 11 to 154 pounds, 10 stone 8 to 11 stone, or 148 to 154 pounds. And, you know, some people are large and some people are huge. Yes, I completely agree with you, Marcia. I completely agree with you. And we sometimes we don't know the complete full-blown cause of diabetes. Um, you know, in my family, because like I've said to you before, Marcia, diabetes genetically runs in my family, unfortunately, which is why I try extremely hard to stay out of that range with the fruit, vegetable, and fish diet mostly. I do eat meat, but I really don't eat it in large quantities. You know, especially because my auntie and my uncle both went down with pre-diabetes earlier this year. I mean, until my auntie miraculously, seemingly reversed it. So, 210 pounds is huge. Oh gosh, that's 15 stone. That's huge. Oh gosh. All muscle, whether it's muscle or not, that's still huge. No offense, Zeph, but if I was 210 pounds, I wouldn't be happy with myself. Gosh, Herman, your aunt is celebrating reaching 25 stone a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's true, Marcia, that's true. Sometimes it's genetic. Sometimes it's genetic. I've got it in the genetics, unfortunately. Sadly, but there we are. Hello to you, Deborah. Hello, hello, hello to you. Please do give Deborah a good, resoundingly large hello. Please do give Deborah a good hello. Do give her a nice, lovely hello. We love Deborah, and I love Deborah too. My wonderful new friend, Deborah Chellingworth. Hello to you, Deborah. We love you. Nice big hug and squeeze always. This is true, Gertrude. You're completely right. Thank you, Marcia and Matt. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me what I was saying earlier on. I didn't mean to say anything discriminatory about Zeph's first husband because of his £210 figure. I wasn't trying to say anything rude. No, really, I wasn't. I didn't mean anything rude, but to me, that would be huge. £210. It would be huge to me. Hello to Sally. Yes, I saw you on Duchess of North Sussex. No, I did want to share a short point. I needed to show a point regarding trolling and those who are falling victims to needless trolling attacks. Nobody deserves to needlessly fall victim to those unnecessary atrocities. Oh, Pamela. I think the only thing you'd expect from Deborah now, Pamela, is a nice big hug and squeeze from her. Well, I think Deborah will probably need your hugs to feel assured and protected in every way, saying your bone structure is fine. Oh, I think Deborah would really appreciate that. I mean, had she been horribly discriminated to the point where it's knocked over her self-confidence, people saying she has poor bone structure and all that. I mean, I'm not trying to come under a huge conclusion here, but if that did happen to her to the point where it's knocked her confidence over, I think the thing Deborah would obviously need is a nice protective hug from Pamela. I mean, I'd always like a nice protective hug from Pamela. A small thing as I am, there's just to those who obviously are either my height or overshot it, and obviously overshot my weight, for example, there's just a small amount of me for one to protect. That's all. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with looking out for smaller ones, like, say, myself or Gertrude or Hailey or Zeph or David, because he's 5'4.5" and 148, 154 pounds, or Marcia and Chris, Marcia and all that. There's just more. There's just only a smaller. There's just Fortunately, there's not a lot of me to look out and protect to and all that. Being a small thing, we're protected. No, I know, and something I appreciate and value greatly, Marcia. Thank you, Gertrude, thank you. I mean, I know 25 stone on a for Herman's auntie, gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, thank you, Sally. Thank you. No, but had yes, no, good attitude, Zeph. I'm more or less the same. I too, like you, may be a small thing, but I can and will protect those larger or smaller than I. I'm very like you on that. Oh, and Marcia, I've got something to share. You'll find this quite funny, actually, now, Marcia. I was literally talking to my mother recently. I was talking to my mother recently. I mean, even though she's really not well, being riddled with shingles, unfortunately, as all of you now know that she's going through the ordeal at the moment, she did share some rather funny humor in spite of the shingles ordeal. And I'll tell you, Marcia, what it is that she said. I was telling her, I eventually did tell my mother about your affinity for large, cuddly men. And she's like, do you know something? I too would prefer to be with a large, cuddly man. And she was like, I like large, cuddly men, like your Marcia. And I said, well, my Marcia, she's the one who married a large, cuddly man. He can't sleep in my bed because you probably break it under his weight. And my mother found this quite funny. You know, you always want to be shorter and smaller boned, but realize you should be happy with your larger bone structure. Oh, so I'm just short of your height, Deborah. Oh, okay. I'm 5'8" of height. Oh, okay, okay. You like a soft man too. Hello, Carla. Big sweet teddy bear. Oh, God. You have a small, cuddly husband. I mean, I'm a small man too. I mean, well, you obviously know that I'm a small man for myself, speaking of which. Oh gosh. Yes, and obviously, like you said and also another thing to point out, Carla, you've got a very petite, cuddly daughter, like that of your pops, who you sometimes say, and as you say, well, as you sometimes say, Carla, you could just put pops in your pocket. Oh gosh, and all that. Oh, thank you, Christine. Thank you. No, but to tell you something, I thought I'd tell you, Marcia, that my mother now shares a similar preference to you, an affinity for large, cuddly men. But I'm not trying to say anything rude or discriminatory. No, 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 I'm really, really not. I'm really not trying to say anything rude or discriminatory. I was just eventually telling her, because I mean, because of no, but because of the silly live last night when I said the bed's not suitable for large cuddly men, it prompted me to share your affinity to her. Oh, it's a pleasure, Marcia. But if I had caused your husband upset, if I had caused him upset, taking into account his frame, my apologies. I never meant to cause offence about his frame. I really didn't. But it's a pleasure, Marcia. It's certainly a pleasure. No, you said before, Pamela. You said before. No, but can I tell you something, Pamela? I know people taller than your sons. I mean, my two friends, Mike and Alfie. Well, Mike is the father, and Alfie is my friend. They're both 6'6", and Jake, Alfie's younger brother, obviously the younger son of Mike. He's around about 6'8", something like that. Well, somewhere like that. He's the tallest out of all the Travises, out of the four Travises, the two Travis boys and the two Travis girls. He's the tallest out of all four. To tell you odd things, Pamela. So do make something of that. Oh, he was 6'8". That's a whole foot taller than I, because I'm 5'8". You have a brother and nephews all over 6'4". I know some people over 6'4", Deborah. I know two men who are 6'6" and one who's probably around about 6'8". But to share something much more astonishingly, on a much more astonishing note, my friend Deborah Coleman, she she knew a man who was a full 7 foot. Could you imagine that? A full 7 foot. Oh goodness. Oh, I mean 7 foot. Oh, hello. No, 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 no. That would be rude. No, but could one imagine that? Full 7 foot. I know, Carla, yes. And to tell you something, Carla, Deborah, she's only the same height as yourself and your husband at 5'6", and yet she knew a man who was 7 foot. Do you imagine that? Can you imagine what they would have looked like, stood beside one another and all that? Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Thank you for wishing my mother well. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you. Thank you for your assurance. Thank you. Yes, it would look bizarre, I know. Can you imagine the three of you just stood with Tommy Wayman? It would look very bizarre sight. I mean, obviously, I'd obviously look small enough, stood with a guy over 6 foot, or certainly 6'6", not to mention. I would certainly look small enough, stood with a guy, anybody of 6 foot and over, taking into account 5'8", 11 stone, or 154 pounds, that is. So yeah, it would look like a bizarre sight. And imagine Pop stood with a 7 foot guy. She just looked, and obviously, as you said, petite as she is, petite, and you said petite as she is, you know, she'd obviously look a bizarre sight. No, 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 Marcia, no, Marcia, you're completely right. No, Marcia, I'm very with you on that matter. It would be boring if we were all the same. No, Marcia, I totally agree with you. My grandmother would say exactly the same thing. She would say exactly the same thing. And also my late grandfather Edmund. He too would have said something quite similar, saying it would be very boring if we were all the same. Lots of people I've met have said more or less exactly the same thing. I think I know somebody who was around about 4 feet 11. Well, she's either that or possibly shorter, but she's tiny. And that's a friend of my grandmother's, Leslie. And she's around, I don't think she's 4 feet 11. I think she's probably, if anything, about 4 feet 9, 4 feet 10, something like that. No, Roland, sorry. The 4 foot 8, or maybe 4 foot 9, something like that. But she is a very tiny lady, Dawn Rawlins. Good evening, Heather. Good evening to the Heather Arredondo. This is not Heather the model, by the way. Heather Arredondo couldn't model because she wouldn't be tall enough. But Heather Shinny Gonzalez, on the other hand, she was. She was of suitability for it, just to say. Because she's the same height as Pamela and Deborah Chellingworth. But good evening to you, Heather. Good evening. Your grandmother was about 4 feet 11. I think, like I said, Carla, I know somebody who's shorter than that. Yes, no, you're just short of David's height, Heather, because he is 5 foot 4.5. I mean, you're talking a short man with David, Heather. He's only 5 foot 4.5 height. You're talking a short man, a proper short man. Well, I mean, well, if you've seen a picture of us both stood together, you would see he's quite short. Although he used to weigh more than I did. That's the only difference. Because, to tell you something, Heather, you would be surprised. When I first met David back in 2021, he weighed 166 pounds. Despite his 5 foot 4.5 of height, I've never been anything more than 154 pounds. He actually weighed 12 pounds more than I did. Could you imagine that? Yes, your pops would be tiny, tiny. No, no, no. I just saw it. But can you imagine that? And he had high cholesterol at that point, I'm afraid. He would no, he had high cholesterol because of a not very good diet. Fortunately, he got caught early, and the moment he was diagnosed with high cholesterol, he just went on a diet overnight. He just completely changed his diet overnight. And since then, he's lost over 12 pounds or more since overcoming high cholesterol. Now he has a varied weight. Now he has a varied weight of 148 to 154 pounds. Oh gosh, Carter, your grandmother was tiny. Gosh. I mean, but Dawn Rawlins is tiny. I mean, because she's only about 4'8", 4'9", as I said before. So, used to feel like a giant. Oh God, well, imagine what I'd look like with Dawn Rawlins. Imagine what I'd look like with her. Around about 4'8", 4'9", and me 5'8", because I'm taller than you, Carla. So could you imagine what I'd look like with Dawn Rawlins? You know, leprechauns. Oh, Christine. She was Irish. Her charity borrowed shoes and used to wait for scraps from her drunk father's table. Oh, God, not a drunk. Oh, shit. Your grandparents were leprechauns. You could say that probably about my grandmother Anne, and my late grandfather Edmund, because they were both short. Well, particularly my grandmother Anne, because she is 5 feet 2. You're talking a short lady. Well, both my grandmothers are short, actually. But say, where my mother always thinks I got my height from my father. I don't think I got it from my dad. I think it's more my brother who got it from my dad. I don't think I got it from him. I definitely didn't get it from my mother because I'm taller than she is. I think, if anything, I really got my height from my maternal grandfather. I think that's my belief, but I could be wrong. But I really think I got it from him. Why I conclusively believe I got my height from my maternal grandfather, Eric, was because he was the same height as me. He was 5'8". I mean, despite everybody on my mother's side being all 5'6" and under, he was my height. He was taller than all seven because my mother's a family of seven, being the youngest one. All seven, even the boys, all were shorter than him. The only ones they were taller, predominantly taller than, all seven, was my grandmother Margaret, because she is only 5'3". So a short lady. So it's fair to say I do come from a family of small people, you know. But we have different genetics, don't we? Which is as truth as things. Sucks being short. Oh gosh. Well, one thing I could say, Heather, people are much taller now than they used to. I've noticed this even in my time in secondary school. I noticed this. I mean, because I knew probably, well, he was a student. Yet he was about a couple of He was about the third year of secondary school. I was in the first year of secondary school at the time. Um, he was 2 years older than I, and he was what, 13 years of age. And at 13 years of age, he couldn't have been any shorter than 5'10" at 13. He was probably around about 5'10", 175 pounds, something like that. So can you imagine that at 13, 5'10" and 175 pounds? Can you imagine that on a 13-year-old boy? And obviously I was about at least, and obviously I never reached 5'10", on the other hand. So, but could you imagine that on a 13-year-old? You know, he was not only, he was definitely bigger than he was certainly bigger than what I am, you know. Quite a well-shared point. Well, there are certain arguments for and against it, obviously. But can you imagine that, Heather? No, I do remember you saying before, Heather, I mean, I remember you saying that before, Heather, yes. I remember you saying before, hello to Deborah Coleman, hello. Do give a resoundingly large hello to Deborah. We love our Deborah. Deborah, I did hear from your friend Heidi recently, but I'm yet to reply to her. But do be assured I will eventually reply to Heidi. I will definitely reply to her. Oh gosh, that is tall for 12. That is tall. That is tall for 12. Yes, do give a resoundingly large hello to our Deborah Coleman. Oh no, but I forgot to get another acknowledgement. Oh no. I forgot to acknowledge once again Mr. Tom's, Wookie, Master Wookie, Sky, and Lily and Sky. Oh, you sleep well, Marcia. Good luck with the Martin Clunes concert tomorrow. Good luck with the Martin Clunes. No, I don't think it's concert. It's probably live theatre event, likely. Good luck with the Martin Clunes theatre event. So sleep well, Marcia. Sleep well. The keys are all good. Oh, the keys are all good. Oh, thank you. But I thought I'd at least fit in the last part because I forgot to acknowledge Mr. Tom's, Master Wookie, Lady Lily, and the little girl Sky. I forgot to acknowledge them. Oh, pets. Sorry, not keys, pets. Sorry I didn't acknowledge them when at the moment I saw you in the live. But good luck with the Martin Clunes live performance event. Good luck with it tomorrow, Marcia. I'll be thinking of you. I'll certainly be thinking of you. And my mother does say thank you, by the way, for wishing her well. Even though she now shares your affinity towards large cuddly men, she still thanks you for wishing her well. Oh, thank you, Heather. Thank you. Thank you, Pamela. Oh, Alice, hello. Just wanted to thank you. Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. But what was it that, oh, goodness, wow, at 12. Oh, goodness. A 14 US Canada, that's a 13 UK, Pamela. That's much more than what I am. Mine's 8 UK. And if you want to know what an 8 UK is, Pamela, it's the equivalent to a 9 US Canada men's or a 10 US Canada women's, and that's what I am. Well, to take into account 5'8" of height, that's right for my height. But gosh, well, give them good stability. But can I tell you something more astonishing, Pamela? My friend Tommy Gardiner, who's 6'3.5" of height, he has got an astonishing size 16 US Canada men's shoes. Can you imagine that? Size 16 US Canada men's feet. Can you imagine that? I mean, can you imagine that, Pamela? A 16 US Canada men's at 6'3.5", which is a 15 in the UK. So can you imagine that? Those are like boats. You're the same as my grandmother and one of my aunties, Zeph. They're both the same as you because that's 5 UK. They're exactly the same as you, Zeph. Exactly the same. Can you imagine that? Yes, I could only imagine. And also tell you something else, Zeph. One of my friends has exactly the same size shoe as you, but the difference being is that she's the same height as me. Though the same height as me, she's got exactly the same size shoe as you, Zeph. So can you imagine that? Yes, I imagine fortune shoe prices. If you're a 14 US Canada men's or let alone a 16 US Canada men's, because my friend Tommy Gardiner, he's a 16 US Canada men's because that's a 15 in the UK. So can you imagine that? Can you imagine that, Pamela? Mine's been the same since I was about 17, 18. I could only imagine, Heather. I could only imagine, Heather. No, but is this 15 US or 15 UK you're referring to, Heather? Because my friend Tommy 15 in the UK, which in your neck of the woods is a 16 US Canada men's. Very hard. Yeah. Only too well. I understand that only too well. But one of my friends. Oh, have you got to go, Alice? Ta-ta for now. I mean, I know Marcia had to go, but Christine, Heather, and Hailey. Oh, were Christine, Heather, and Hailey going? If you were, I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge, but I didn't realize Alice had to go. Or, well, as Christine, Heather, and Hailey had to go. Well, do take care if, for those of you who are going, sorry if I ran into jumbled confusion a moment ago. Oh, it's Alice who's going. Ta-ta for now, Alice. Oh, I didn't realize Teresa Williams was your friend, Alice. How lovely learning so. You take care, Alice. I'm sorry I didn't for my lack of acknowledgement towards you, but it's wonderful seeing you on here, albeit temporarily. And I didn't realize that Terry Williams was your friend. So hello to Terry Williams. Hello to Terry Williams. Sorry, I will get to you in a moment, Deborah. Carla, I'm just reading what Deborah had to say. You grew up in the coal region and never wore shoes. Oh, God. Gosh, don't break your feet doing that. Don't break them. But I do know you grew up in the coal region. You said before, but I didn't know the final part. But obviously, the thing I'm never going to forget is when you said that your late friend Tommy Wayman wore his shoes until they fell apart. No, Gertrude is wonderful, Carla. Gertrude's a wonderful friend. Gertrude's a wonderful friend. Oh, you're still here, Christine. You're still here. No, Gertrude's a wonderful friend. She's a wonderful friend. Your fur kids are calling for a bed snacks. Oh, well, ta-ta for now, Pamela. I wouldn't say goodbye without giving you a nice, long, protective hug. Well, I think, well, you're all, well, obviously, I'd only know too well you'd give oneself a nice, long, protective hug. Nice, long, protective hugs always, Pamela. And much love to your cats, because I know you're a loving cat owner, as is myself. And of course, Janet's a loving cat owner too. Nice big long hugs and cuddles always, my lovely Pamela. Oh, thank you, Zev. Thank you. Thank you. I need to sit up a little. Shoes should last. Fortunately, mine generally last. Fortunately enough, Heather. Mine generally, by and large, last to a reasonable extent. It's never got to the point where I've had to replace them too repeatedly, fortunately. No. But once I couldn't wear my shoes until they fell apart because had my family seen me wearing my shoes until they fall apart, um, if they'd seen me do that, wear them while they're falling apart, it wouldn't be well received by them. So it's better to really purchase a new pair before they get so worn to the point where they fall apart. You know, so there we are. Yes, well said, Heather. Well said. Stupid autocorrection. Irritating, irritating. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. You saw me on Duchess Blair's live. I didn't know you were on the live, Deborah. I didn't know. I clearly didn't know you were watching the live every step of the moment it was happening. I really didn't know that. I really didn't. But were you talking about my opinion regarding trolling that was going on and for those who are falling victim to needless trolling attacks? Or were you talking about it's better off to change your pair of shoes before they get so worn to the point where they fall apart? Turning into an Italian? No, you're not. No, you're not. Carla, you're certainly not an Italian man. You're a nice, lovely lady, and we love you. We love you. And also, you show a great deal of good, fond protection towards your little daughters. Well, why I say little daughters, because they're obviously, not only are they shorter than yourself, but they're also smaller size-wise, as you did say before. You've got very good, fond protection towards your little daughters, and you're always extremely lovely to one another. So, yes, Carla's not that. You're very right on that, Zeph. You're very right on that. Oh, the trolling. Okay. The trolling. These needless trolling attacks. Graham, Fiona, Trevor, the Duchess Blair, Susie Smith. Too many to name. Even I've fallen victim to needless trolling by. I'm not going to mention this lady's name. I think some of you already know as to who she is. I'm not going to share an example. But even Sap has fallen victim to her trolling antics as well. You know, there's no need. There's absolute no need for it. Completely no need. The trolls on here were awful last week. I totally agree with you, Matt. Totally agree, yes. I totally, completely agree with you on that. Oh, it's a pleasure, Carla. It's a pleasure. No, Carla. No, you're always so lovely to all here. I totally agree with you, Zeph. I totally agree. It's not only is it disheartening, it's infuriating. It's infuriating and disheartening, if at all anything to share on that matter, you know. The trolls do not know when to stop, Matt. They clearly do not know when to stop, just to share my point on that. No, Carla is Welsh. Carla is Welsh, Zeph. Carla is Welsh. Yes, yes, no, I totally agree. Ah, I have only just I'm only just new to the Facebook side of things, Matt. But I won't leave it for the live to talk about on the live, but I will do a video talking about it and how to find me on it. I mean, I'm only just getting used to the Facebook thing, but I will eventually do a video talking about the Facebook, just to say. I know, Deborah. I know. Oh, oh well, we got the two lovely Deborahs in here. The nice, lovely American Deborah in the Pennsylvanian US state, and lovely Deborah in Australia. I know, I know, I know, Gertrude, yes. Now, really, the most sinister thing is the real sinister thing about trolls. They hardly ever get punished. They just do their atrocities and they get away with it and they just do it unpunished. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Nobody was pretending to be me. No, no, no. That was my profile, Matt. But I'm new to it. I'm new to it, but I will do a video talking about my Facebook profile, for those who want to follow it. You know. Hello to Brenda Goodwin. Hello to Brenda in Ohio. Sue's a good lady. Oh, Sue's brilliant. Sue's a good lady, Christine. Susie's brilliant. I mean, she actually saw me on the live. She saw me on the live. You know, she saw me on the live, and she was like, and she was saying something about my accent on the live, Christine. And I was like, thank you, Susie. I know that. She was saying some nice compliments about me when I was on the live that time. No, she's a nice lady. She's a very nice lady, Susie. Wonderful, delightfully nice lady. If above and beyond anything, to share some things. I know. No, it's visibly aged him with stress. Poor Trevor, it's visibly aged him with stress, the trolling. They've taken such a toll, not on his mentality. I totally agree. Poor Trevor. Oh, poor Trevor. I'm sure you're feeling the need to just hug him and quite tightly, aren't you, Deborah? No, because I mean, I could imagine if you were made fun of your bone strength and all that, or larger frame, then obviously you would need hugs and protection, wouldn't you? Thank you, Zeph. Thank you for standing up for me. But Matt had every right to be worried, and I've given him the answer to everything. Oh no, you're too right. You're too right, Zeph. No, Trevor generally punches through, but what's happening to him is beyond wrong. I totally agree. Totally agree with you on that. In every way. Trolls always reveal themselves with their writing style and verbiage. Yeah. It's too true. True right and too true, Zev. No, 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 but thank you. Thank you for your sympathy towards Trevor. Not just you, Deborah, but Zev. But all of you who have been representing your sympathy towards Trevor, thank you. But who am I missing? Am I missing anybody? Brenda Goodwin. Oh, yes, no, I said hello. Oh, yeah, now I'm missing another thing, what Deborah just said. I will change the subject. I love Tom Jones. Do 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 do. Oh yes, Deborah. That's not unusual to like Tom Jones. Do 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 do. It's not unusual to mess up at any time. Do 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 do. It's not unusual to go event attending at any time. Do 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 do. Your mother loved Tom Jones. Oh, goodness. No, he's a very well liked and very well internationally well known singer. Tom Jones was playing in Reno and Vegas. Oh, wow. I hope so, Heidi. I'm hoping so. I sure hope so because it's seriously taken a toll, not only on Trevor, but Graham and Fiona too. Duchess Blair, you should have seen how she was talking in the live. Angry. She was angry to no bitter end with the trolling. Rightly so, because it's taken a toll on her mentally. It's completely taken an adverse toll. It's taken an adverse toll on the mentality of not just Duchess Blair, but Graham, Fiona, Trevor, Susie, not to mention Susie. Even Hutch has fallen victim to trolling on I'm not going to give out the name of the account, but on a certain Twitter account, he's fallen victim to trolling on it. I mean, don't give the name because it's just a worthless Twitter account. A completely worthless shit-stirring Twitter account, so I wouldn't give the name of it. No. Too many YouTubers fall victim to needless trolling, and yet the trolls walk free of their wrongdoing and are never punished for it. Gonna say, you're gonna have to pull out a can of whoop ass. Yes, Gertrude is funny. Yes. Oh, Gertrude, you're always so lovely to others. Oh, what was this caller saying? George is alive! George is alive! Marvelous! George is alive! George is alive! I'm falling victim to trolls. Shut up! Shut up and get a fucking life, you fucking trolls! Get the fuck out of here! That's what Brian Blessed would probably say about the trolls. Get a fucking knife, you fucking trolls! Anything you want, Brian, before we can... yes, and keep those fucking trolls out of our fucking sights. You know, he'd probably say something like that. If these trolls don't get the fuck out of our nice community, I will scare their asses so hard they'll only be shitting themselves in their fucking pants. That's what Brian Blessed would probably say, especially to the trolls. Yes, I would scare the trolls so fiercely they'd only be pissing and shitting themselves in their fucking pants. Horse trampling. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, not the horse trampling. No, 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 no. That's not nice. That's not nice. No, 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 no. Not the horse trampling. No. From Deborah. I have heard Brian Blessed swearing many, many times, Deborah. There's actually a very, very funny video of a Brian Blessed swearing compilation. Actually, do you know what? Just bear with me a few short moments. Oh, no, 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 not that one. No, 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 don't put that in the chat, Christy. No, no, I've just seen that. Sorry, Christine, but I had to remove the message. But Christine, that symbol you put in the message a moment ago, that I don't always take well to those sorts of messages, and that could have probably gotten me flagged or in trouble. So please be careful with that, with those sorts of things in future. Please do. You know, you could actually get my content flagged if you put something like that in it. So I had to draw a line under that. It's not often that I do that because usually it's the other way around. This is true, Zeph. This is totally true. Don't worry, Christine. You now know for next time. You now know for next time. No, no, no. I know you can control your means of protection, but yes, no, you cannot. One certainly has no control over a pissed off animal. This is certainly true. The trolls are the ones that are supposed to be under the bridges, Deborah. Yes, as one would so share. This is as true as things, but these trolls are just running free out of the bridges, especially the ones going after Graham, Fiona, Trevor, Duchess Blair, Susie Smith, Hutch, or me and Sapper in a few cases. Sorry, no, no, but now I need to look for the video I'm looking for. Right, we go. Okay. Right, just got to get the video. Gonna put the link up to the video. No, no, Zev, I know you wouldn't threaten anybody. I know you wouldn't. But I just got the. Actually, no, I'll make it more specific. Video link. No, 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 no. There we are. Just made the link more specific. Yes, very well shared. Well shared, Zeph. I think Christine knows. I think Christine knows. No, no, Zev, I know you would never, 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 never threaten anybody. I know you wouldn't. You're far too lovely to go after anybody in any way. I know that. You're always so wonderful to all, and you're always so wonderful to me. Well, like you said to me before, Zev, you're protective of me in a mama bear sort of way. She was like, I'm protective of you in a mama bear sort of way. We have different 1A laws here in the USA, but yes, one must be very, very responsible. Oh, yeah. Well, my mother is still very much alive, Zev, so please don't take. So please don't take my. So obviously, you can't. So obviously, you can't replace my mother. Oh, Carla, Carla, you didn't have to, but thank you, thank you. No. Oh wait, no, I can't like. Oh God. Oh goodness, Zeph, you didn't have to. You really didn't have to. Oh, Daniel Boberson's here. Moogs and Tommy and Sapper. Thank you. Thank you, Zeph. You didn't have to. And Shell's in. Shell in Minnesota. Hello. One Southern Magnolia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, thank you, Zeph. You didn't have to, but thank you. Thank you. Yes, I know. Much to my astonished surprise. But we got Sapper in here. We certainly got Sapper in here. Oh, and thank you, Gertrude. Thank you for having Zeph's back. Thank you, thank you. But hello to Daniel Boberson, Alison Boydell, Moogs, Tommy Gardiner, Samantha, Shirl, Rexy, and Sapper. Hello to you all. Hello to you all. And also Southern Magnolia. Hello to Southern Magnolia. I mean, Zeph, you really didn't have to, but a very, 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 very generous gesture. Thank you. You really didn't have to, but thank you. A very, very kindly, generous gesture. Thank you. Thank you. No, but Sapper, that was a brilliant song you recently did. That was certainly a well and truly brilliant song you recently did. Excellent song, I must say. Very, very excellent song. Oh, and hello to Tasso too. She didn't have to, but Deborah, but it was very, very kindly gesture. No, no, I mean, she didn't have to, Hailey and Deborah. She really well and truly didn't. Oh gosh, Carlo again. Is this a Carlo gate now? Oh goodness, imagine if Harriet were here now. If Harriet were in here now, she'd be Carlo gate. Hello, hello, hello to you, Sparky. Hello, hello, hello to you. Hello, hello to Sparky. And I saw you in Duchess Blair's live. Oh, and hello to Heather. Hello, hello, hello to you. Carlo Gate. Oh, goodness. If Harriet was in here now, she'd be in time for Carlo Gate. Oh, thank you, Heather. Thank you for your friendliness towards Zeph and Gertrude. Thank you. And hello to Scott. Hello to Scott. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you for your friendliness towards Heather. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful night. You're walking the dog. Yes, the live was good. No, Scott isn't mining gold. Zev, no. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Scott, for your friendliness towards Zeph and Gertrude. Thank you. Oh, Zeph, I thought I may have the coyote references, but we can drop it. No, don't worry, Zeph. Heather said you did not offend her, so you should be more than fine. Thank you, Gertrude. No, Heather really is sweet. She is very sweet. I totally agree. And all that. But Heather, how did the gardening go recently? Because obviously Nutmeg was very curious about it. Oh, ta-ta for now, ta-ta for now, Carla. Ta-ta for now. You sleep well. I wouldn't say goodbye without giving you a great big hug and squeeze. Ta-ta for now, Carla. And much love to little Pops as well. Ta-ta for now, Carla. You have a you have a great sense of humor. Yes, no offense. Yes, no offense taken at all. So no worries at all. No worries at all, Zeph. Like you said to me, you said, please don't take what you did to heart back in June of 2024. And then, and even, And even Michelle said to me, even Michelle said to me, she said, "What could you have done to upset me? I am at a loss. You did nothing to upset me, dear Foxy." She said, "You've done nothing to upset me. You can stay in the garden till dark. You love it so much right now, putting away all your patio and garden furniture and getting your garden ready to go to bed. Is this ready for the winter, Heather? Are you putting your garden to bed ready for the winter, if I may question, only curiously?" No, but yes, I do know you have your affinity for gardening. I do know that. I certainly do know that. I know you have a good sense of humor, Heather. I do know that. In 4 years that I've known you, I do know that you have a good sense of humor. What? What? The sound is off? How on earth could the sound be off? Can anybody hear me? Because Sparky said the sound is off. Can anyone hear me? That is unusual. Oh, sound is fine. It's just for Sparky. Sparky said the sound was off. It's not off. Weren't you going to bed, Carla? But thank you for telling me so. It's just cut off for a minute, but it's fine now. Oh, you can all hear me. Oh, thank you, Deborah, Christine, and well, you have to rake leaves and clean all your decks, and soon it will be cold. No, I'm not surprised. It's cold. It's cold already in the Brighton and Hove region, Heather, so I'm not surprised it will be cold in Canada soon. But gosh, you've got to rake the leaves. I've raked leaves before. Not always the easiest of things to do, but one gets used to it. Sparky ears are off. You got pulled back in. No, you didn't have to get pulled back in, Carla. You certainly didn't. Heather's Canada. She's St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, Zeph, to tell you odd things. Hello to Dave Bryan. Snow and frost already hit your area. Yes, it's getting cold. It's cold in Brighton in England. Are you referring to the London to Brighton veteran car run, Dave? That's not until the 3rd of November 2024. That's not until the 3rd of November 2024, the London to Brighton veteran car run, Dave, so it won't be this weekend, it will be next. The heat was stuck on at your office today. It was like a sauna. Oh, gosh. I like hot saunas. I'd go for a hot sauna than a cold one. I'd certainly go in a hot tub. 77 Fahrenheit. It's hardly anything. 77 Fahrenheit is hardly anything, Deborah. That's hardly anything, really. Our clocks go back, Heather, on the 27th of October, which, to tell you odd things, Heather, the 27th of October will mark Graham's birthday, and it will also mark accomplished famous actor John Cleese's birthday too, 27th of October. So clocks go back on the day of both Graham the Baron Heskish and John Cleese's birthdays, just to tell you odd things, Heather. But I do know that the clocks go back in Canada on the 3rd of November. I do know that. I know that completely for a fact, for sure. 77 Fahrenheit. It's hardly anything, 77 Fahrenheit. It's not that hot. It's actually, if anything, a little bit nippy weather. Rather a little nippy. 77 can be hot and humid. No, it's felt it rather nippy, really, Scott. I felt it rather nippy. I'd be nippy if I was anybody in 77-degree Fahrenheit weather. I'd put my jacket on or my coat. For a short time, our hours would get closer together for a few days. Yes, quite well said, Heather. Well said point. Oh my goodness, 34-degree heat is baking hot. I would have to be more careful going out in that sort of weather, 34-degree heat, Deborah, because I can get sunburnt quite easily. Well, to show something, Deborah, if you're here, this was Deborah Cheringworth who was talking about it being 34-degree heat. Well, most of you have already seen what it looks like, but this is how fair my skin is. Obviously, sometimes there's humidity, but not always got. It really depends if it's a baking hot heat wave or not. To show you something, Deborah, that this is what my skin looks like. This is what my skin looks like. So, obviously you would understand I'd have to be more careful going out in baking hot heat because I am fair-skinned. But even though, yes, but before one asks and before one says, yes, I do have very skinny arms. Yes, I mean, I may have skinny arms. That is certainly as truth has things. Obviously, this was what happens on it. This is what 140, this is what 154 pounds gives you on a 5'8" frame. But yes, I'm skinny arms as I may have. I have got very fair skin. So I have to be careful. I do have to be careful going out in such hot heat like that. Deborah, just to share. 78 Fahrenheit in on Ohio. Not all that hot, really. Well, it is getting to be on the hotter side, but not particularly too hot. You need to get me some £5 weights. In what way, Zeph? In what way do you need to get me £5 weights? I mean, you don't have anything against a small, skinny man, do you? I mean, but do you? I mean, if I may ask, Zeph, do you preferably have an affinity towards small, skinny men or large, cuddly men or big, muscular men? If I may ask you. No, Zeph is it? Yes, you said high desert of northern Nevada. I wouldn't be in a jacket or sweater in the summer in Florida. Skin is very fair. Yes, I go red. I go quite pink and quite red. Deborah, I go pink and red. You have had skin cancers taken off of your face and half. No, oh, awful. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Yes, I mean, I have to be careful too, Gertrude. Not just Deborah, me too. There's one benefit of humidity. Now, I know you've got humidity in Canada too. I remember this time 4 years ago, in July of that time, Heather, you were talking about it being very hot and humid in Canada. I remember you pointing this out once. You know. Oh my goodness, my eyes are white. I'm whiter than you, Zev, really. Oh goodness. It's called Indian summer here in Pennsylvania. Never went out in the sun. So you have no wrinkles, no kidding. I think I'm going to be wrinkled, to be honest with you. No, I think I'm going to get wrinkled because I'm often out in the sun. Even though I have to be careful going out in the sun, I think I'm going to be wrinkled. If anything, I mean, my grandmother sunbathed. One of them used to sunbathe, and she's wrinkled as a result of that. My late grandfather Edmund, he was wrinkled. He was all wrinkled, unfortunately. But you never went out in the sun. Gosh, how interesting. You never went out in the sun, Deborah. Goodness. Oh, have you got to go? Ta-ta for now, Christine. Ta-ta for now. It's called Indian summer here in Ontario as well. Interesting. I need to go to Palm Springs in the summer. I would love it. Is this Palm Springs, California you're referring to? Because I know of Palm Springs. That's near the Oregon Trail. You ta-ta for now, Christine. And take care of Clyde the cat as well. Thank you, Gertrude. Thank you for your friendliness towards Christine. Thank you. And take care of Clyde the cat, Christine, won't you? Take care of Clyde the cat. Wrinkles are a sign of a life adventures and happiness. Well shared point there, Deborah. Well shared point. Very, very well shared point, I must say. No, but I think I'd expect it to happen with me. I mean, my mother could go out in the sun. She could go out in the sun and not get wrinkled. My mother couldn't get wrinkled and go out in the sun. And she's what? She's almost 50, and yet she's hardly got a wrinkle. Whereas I think in the next few years or so, I'm probably going to get wrinkled, if anything. Oh, interesting. Your son will be traveling to Omaha, Nebraska for American Thanksgiving. How interesting. How interesting learning of this. How very, very interesting. Good luck with your son's travels to Omaha, Nebraska, Heather. Good luck for him. It's probably going to happen to me, Zeph. It's probably going to happen to me. Yes, no, how lovely what Heather's son's doing, Gertrude. So many relatives in Omaha. Interesting, Zeph. Interesting. Very, very interesting learning of this indeed. Wow. Pronounced Omaha. 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 Okay. Omaha. Thank you, Zeph. Thank you. Omaha. Omaha. All right. Now, I think I've probably got the hang of it now. Omuha. Omuha. But with Deborah Coleman, what Deborah in Pennsylvania said earlier on, I never knew, Deborah, I never knew that you never go out in the sun. I never knew that. Certainly a pleasure, Heather. Certainly a pleasure always. He'll be joining friends from university who came to Canada for school. How interesting. How interesting. Now string it on. Oh, Muhan. Oh, oh gosh. Uh, do wish I'd been a bit easier on your sun exposure. Just felt so damn good. Well, there are a lot of stockyards outside of Omaha. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. No, but is there anything interesting about Omaha? Omaha. Because, I've never been to America or Canada, but I'd be interested to know about Omaha. The interesting, the points of interest, the history. I've never been, but I'd like to go. I'd certainly like to go. No, you shared with me before, Heather. I think you shared this with me before, that you are big Wizard of Oz people, and that's where the wizard came from. It was Omaha. Interesting. Very, very interesting learning of this from you. Very interesting. Best last cattle drive is in Fort Worth, Texas, your hometown, and in Sparks, Nevada. Interesting. Dorothy was from Kansas. No, that's true. I think as far as I'm certain, with the Wizard of Oz. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Wow. Very interesting. This is true, Heather. Dorothy truly was from Kansas, yes, well said. Well, righty ho, I think we're going to wrap things up for now, but it was certainly a brilliant live. I wish I could have gone longer, but I need to go to the loo. But never mind. Normally, I like to just go all the way through without intermission breaks, but mm, probably not this time. Not this time, I'd say. But thank you all, everybody, for your company and taking part in this rather unexpected late night live. Rather unexpected late night live. Uh, I mean, unexpected and suddenly as I planned it. I'm surprised by the response and how overwhelmingly well received it is. Thank you, Heather. Lots of big hugs to you always, Heather. Big hugs and squeezes always. Thank you, Gertrude. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Thank you. No, I love you, Deborah. I mean, in a short while, I've come to see the love you possess in your heart, Deborah. No, you've got a the loving endearment you have in yourself, Deborah. If there's anybody who does not love you, they're making a terribly poor mistake. We love you, and I certainly love you dearly. A nice big hug and squeeze always, Deborah. Nice big hug and squeeze always. No need for loneliness. Oh, Deborah's wonderful, Gertrude. Sorry, Zeph, but I'm going to be finishing things off soon. Nowhere will I go. Not to worry, there are still plenty more lives to come. Zeph, there are plenty more lives to come. Thank you, Heather. Sorry if I'm finishing things off earlier than expected, but I think for this one, about just under 1 hour 30 would do. Ta-ta for now, everybody. Thank you all for taking part in this fun. In this late night live. Good night, and may your God go with you. Goodbye, and may your good wishes be bringing you great expectations of happiness.